And then like where do you draw that line? Where do they cross the line? That it's no longer just about ideas, but they're criticizing them as a person, criticizing, or their channel is based upon that. And so we need to really tease that out in a clear and consistent way. And that's what we're in the process of doing.
What's up guys, Rev here. I will forewarn you that this video is a rant about YouTube's recent anti-harassment policy. Normally this channel is about memes and other dumb content, but there's been a lot on my mind recently and I feel like it's time to talk about it. Now if you're not interested in that sort of thing, feel free to exit this video and wait for the usual content that'll be uploaded soon. Now I'm sure that many of you are aware, but YouTube instituted a new policy dedicated towards anti-harassment and anti-bullying, and let me be the first one to tell you this new policy is absolute horseshit. Before we continue, I'm not worried about this as a creator myself. I don't make drama-related content, and I don't talk about other YouTubers. Now, I do roast fictional characters, which might be in the next great change, but this policy frustrates me as a viewer. So let me translate the new language of this autistic collection of garbage they call an official policy. They say they want to crack down on harassment and bullying on their platform, blah 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 blah. But from how it's been enforced in only the few days since it's been active, it's basically just a free pass to remove any video that criticizes other YouTubers. And that's what we've seen so far. YouTube taking down videos that express what can be fairly described as objective opinions about some of the most disgusting YouTubers who deserve what's coming to them. The most notable case is YouTube taking down the iDubbbz content comp on Leafy, and it comes as no surprise the takedown was met with criticism by the very recipient of the video, Leafy himself, who stated that he didn't even want to see this video taken down and that it was just simply a part of the genre at the time. Now let me show you a related clip, boosted by none other than the grand wizard of YouTube herself, CEO Susan Wojcicki.
We do go back in time and we say that if content made in the past, if that content was fine at the time, then there should be no strike. We make sure that there is no penalty for content that was created before any change in policy.
Rules are attached to dates then.
Yes.
Would you look at that, YouTube saying one thing and then doing the other. I can't believe it. Now let's take a minute to talk about Susan Wojcicki. Now I don't like doing this, but I'm going to speak on behalf of the viewers and other creators watching this. I'm sure you'll agree once you hear it. Susan, you are not my fucking mother. You are the last person I want to have telling me anything about what is right and wrong and how to treat people. I don't need advice from some zoinked out white wine zombie boomer who doesn't have the slightest clue as to what's going on her platform or what creators or viewers want. A person whose only contact with creators comes when she's interacting with millionaires who are talking with her for the sole purpose of milking more ad revenue out of her. You have a lot of nerve talking about how we should treat people better and be more considerate. Let me remind everybody watching this that Susan has been at the helm of a company that has shot out embarrassingly negligent and unwanted policies on this platform that have literally ruined people's lives. All made in the name of making advertisers happier. Susan is the type of person who will step over the corpses of creators if it makes advertisers even the slightest bit more satisfied. Oh, and let's not forget this recent COPPA situation. There's a reason this is happening. It's not just because of what creators did, but because of YouTube, led by good girl Susan, collected and sold the private information of children to make billions, which, was against the law.
First of all, protecting children and child safety is probably like the most important thing that we do.
For sure.
And we need to make sure that we are always doing whatever we can to protect children.
And honestly, it's amazing. How does she still have her job? She has been the one in charge, as this company has had countless scandals and horrible business decisions. In a normal corporation context, a person like her would have resigned or been forced to step down a long time ago. How does she survive this? Now, I was going to make a joke where I compared her to a certain type of insect that can survive under any condition. But that would be awfully mean of me, and I don't want to hurt Susan's feelings by dehumanizing her. I'm probably like a lot of people. I basically don't even watch TV anymore. In its place, I spend a lot of time watching YouTube. And no, not watching late night funny man number 10. I like to watch real people. The kind of people with a $100 webcam who can somehow put together more entertaining content than multi-billion-dollar studios and networks. And I'm worried this change is going to threaten many of my favorite creators. I can see this hurting people that I enjoy, like Critical, iDubbbz, Elvis the Alien. People who call out the absolute worst people on this platform. And that's the irony here. This whole policy works to protect the actually bad people. It protects people like Onision, J Station, and Logan Paul, you know, the good guys. It'll let them just do whatever they want, and if somebody calls them out, well, that's a step too far according to YouTube now. Now, the most recent policy confirms something that and I'm pretty sure everybody watching this video already knows. The decision makers at YouTube are incompetent. But recently I also realized something new. Yes, YouTube decision making is incompetent, but I'm pretty sure at this point it's all intentional. All of these bad policies and changes only result in one thing: flushing out of their creators, whether it's through banning them, demonetizing them, blacklisting them, whatever it takes to get rid of them and make room for all the late night shows and the talk shows, which, by the way, are the only channels that have never been affected by any of these changes. And obviously this isn't new. Over the past few years, there's been waves of changes that have only worked to oust creators. Whether it was the series of adpocalypses, cracking down on cursing and edgy content, removing monetization from thousands of channels, threatening fines on the creators who make content that might appeal to children, and now you can't even criticize people. I just want to know when YouTube was taken over by the Chinese government. I mean, this has gotten so out of hand. And I know there's some lobotomites watching this video who are like, Rev, if you hate YouTube so much, why don't you stop using it? Here's the problem. I love YouTube. I like making videos, I like watching videos. And it legitimately pisses me off seeing this platform continue to slip lower and lower. And no, there's no alternatives. I'm pretty sure at this point, the only thing that could break up YouTube's monopoly would be legislation. What's the solution here? I don't know. It seems like this whole thing is being pushed in a direction and nothing's gonna stop it. That's about all I have to say about this. See you next time.